Hey there, Start here. Back from my vacation. As you can see, I'm starting to work my way towards a rank 1 clear of this current Clash of Wills. I figured I would just put out this quick video showing you sort of one of the steps in my process towards building a rank 1 team, and that is the damage test. I don't normally do videos like this because I didn't really think that they would be useful. But maybe it is. Maybe this will actually be useful to folks. I usually like to do level 99 clears with no mods, for you guys, and then I'll do like a rank 1 clear. But something that that people used to do back in the day is somewhere in between. Like nowadays, it's either all or none. It's either all the mods or none of the mods. But it's rarer to find a clear that's sort of somewhere in between. And I figured this would just be a good opportunity to show you a team and a rotation for getting a quick clear that also has a reasonable amount of bonus mods attached to it in case you don't have enough EX levels to actually do a rank 1 clear. All right. Now, when I do my damage tests, I always turn on everything except for the HP mods, because the idea is I want to just kill the boss on my burst turn just to see, to make sure that my team can, first of all, hit the damage cap and to see how much damage in general they do on the burst turn. Obviously, hitting the damage cap is an important part of getting a rank 1. It's less important in this particular boss, just because the more important factor is, can they do enough damage to make sure that you're killing the boss before you hit a certain turn count where the boss starts doing some really nasty things, or can you get through phase 3 fast enough before the boss really just like wrecks your team. And so in this case, not only am I making sure my team hits the damage cap, but I want to make sure they do a big enough burst that they are going to help push through some of these thresholds. Namely, the 30% threshold is the one I'm really concerned about, and finishing the fight really quickly. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on everything except for the HP mods. Normally, where it says enemy AI change, normally that's the like the HP lock modifier. I would normally leave that off as well in a damage test run. But there are no HP locks if you change the enemy AI. All right, so no HP locks. There are 2 thresholds. There's a 70% threshold and a 30% threshold, but it does not lock at those thresholds. The boss simply changes its AI once you cross those thresholds. So you don't have to worry about turning that one on. There's going to be no HP lock. And so by leaving off all the HP mods, the boss effectively has 3 billion HP. Okay, so it has a base of 3 billion. I think I mentioned in my previous video, most Clash of Wills bosses have 1.8. This one starts at 3 billion. Now, if you were to turn on all the HP mods, it would have a total of, I think, 19.5 billion HP. So that's how much you have to chew through in order to finish this boss off. It's a lot of HP. This thing is a tree, all right? It's going to take you a long time to chop this one down. But yeah, keep that in mind. So you're starting at 3 billion. So for my damage test, I just got to make sure we're dealing at least 3 billion damage, preferably doing even more than that. Okay, and as you can see, that gives you 240% bonus, and only requires 11 EX levels in order to do that. Now, you still have to have a very strong team to kill the boss with 200, all these mods turned on. But even if you don't have the units that I have here or have them at the right EX levels, maybe this will be helpful for you guys, at least getting a decent score with some some bonus mods thrown in there if you don't have all 16 EX levels. All right, so here's the team. So this is the team that I'm hoping will eventually be my rank 1 clear team. So I'll go through the gear for you guys real quick. All right, so Flaring Ether Rain, he's going to be my main, he's going to be my chainsaw. He's just going to be dealing consistent damage every turn by turn to, chop down this tree that we're going after. So he'll be doing that with his Pulverizing Force ability. It is an imbuable bolting strike. You can triple cast it, and if you have 200% morale, I believe the total modifier goes up to 3,750 times when you triple cast it. So it's a pretty good and strong attack every turn, and it is imbuable. And Flaring Ether Rain is still a very, very strong unit. It's got the 8 times chain cap, so he is good to go. He's got pretty much the exact same build in both forms. We are starting him in his Brave Shift because he's going to use his Brave Shift at LB just for the Sword in Peril. It's not going to be doing any damage because it's got fire attached, so the boss is going to resist most of that damage. But we do want that 40% Sword in Peril before we do our big burst. All right, so he is going to be starting in his Brave Shift form for that. Now, if you were actually going for a rank 1, I probably would not start him in Brave Shift form. But since I'm doing my burst on turn 5 to kill the boss, then it's fine. But yeah, he is built exactly the same in both forms, so that he has full-on 300% human, demon, and fairy killers. You don't have to worry about LB damage on this one, because he's not using his LB for damage. You see he has Lucid Lenses. That's for an extra form of Guts. That's primarily for when I actually start doing a proper rank 1 clear. He's going to need it probably in phase 3. When you drop below the 30% threshold, the boss starts doing pretty much nothing but physical damage to the party, and I don't have a physical tank. All I have is Eithne, who's doing the magic tanking. So we are going to need some guts on the party. We do have 2B and Kaito there to provide some Mirage for the party, but just in case we run out of Mirage stacks, it's good to have some guts as a backup. Eithne in her normal form is this is her tank form, so I've just given her Sword and Shield to make sure she's nice and tanky. And yeah, not really much else to say there. She's got some resists. She's got some decent ice and light resists. Yeah, she's got her own vision card. Really not much else to say about this. Just make sure she's nice and bulky. She's got all the status ailment resistances. Make sure everyone is sleep and paralyze immune. That's all you have to worry about is sleep and paralysis. Just make sure everyone has resistance to both of those ailments. In her Brave Shift form, she is wielding 2 of her STMRs. She does get the 8 times chain cap when dual wielding in her Brave Shift form. And then, yeah, just as much spirit and killers. I wanted to make sure she still had some resistances in this form, because she will, she will still have to do a little bit of tanking in this form when she switches to deal damage. So you don't want to just forego all the resistances, but she has such a high spirit stat that she's still going to be fairly bulky as a magic tank. And she gets the majority of her bulk from all of these typed mitigations, because she has 75% to all the types of this boss, and that's what makes her so tanky against this boss. It's not that she's necessarily a crazy good tank. She's fine as a magic tank, but it's those typed mitigations that really make her viable in this particular Clash of Wills. All right, so yeah, I think she's got. Yeah, so she's got 275 Demon Human, only 200 Fairy. That's fine. She is not a primary DPS unit. As much as I wish she would have been totally broken as a DPS, she's not. All right, she'll definitely deal some nice side damage, but she is not a primary DPS in any shape or form. All right, 2B is going to be the primary damage dealer on this team. Genji Helm is there for the status ailment resistance. Okay, I want to make sure she is immune to sleep and paralyze. Magistrate Ring for chain cap boost. Ruler's Regalia just for high attack gear. She is wielding her own katana, because A2 has the Dark Visions katana. And then, yeah, just killers. Killers and LB damage is all she really needs. All right, so 300 Demon Human, 275 Fairy. That's fine. All right, exact same build in her Brave Shift form. All right, so in her Brave Shift form, she'll be using her True Charge Human quite a bit. She'll be chaining that quite a bit when I actually do my rank 1 clear, because that's again similar to Flaring Ether Rain's Pulverizing Force skill. That's a very high consistent damage skill for 2B there. All right, Eithne the Return. This is probably the unit that a lot of people are going to say, oh, I don't have this unit, who can I use? And Cetra Descendant Aerith is probably the best replacement for Eithne the Return. So if you have a Cetra Descendant Aerith, she should work just fine in this slot. Eithne is obviously is objectively better than Scepter Descendant Aerith, but Aerith can work in this slot. All right, and then so Fina has the Empress's Rod Treasure Memorial Ring. That's for that turn 1 morale fill. She's got some Bahamut synergies. She's got a couple of forms of Guts there in the Midsummer Boater and Herba's Boon. A couple of Bahamut synergies so that she can summon Bahamut for the field. This is Melissa's card for the morale every turn, 400 morale every turn. And that's really all she's doing. She's here for the light imbue, for the buffs, and that's pretty much it. Kaito is really just here for breaks, general support, providing some Mirage, doing some chaining. You know, his damage is pretty irrelevant. I gave him Wilk's card for some morale fill. I could make him dual wield so that we get extra morale from Wilk's card, but I didn't really bother with that. We'll see once I actually try my rank 1 clear. I'll see if that's actually necessary. Chocobo Feather for some guts. Not really necessary for this clear particularly, but for the rank 1 clear. I don't even think he's not even stacked on killers, is he? Yeah, no, he's got 300 demon, 250 fairy, but only 175 human, so I could do better on his killers. But honestly, I don't think he's going to be dealing that much damage anyways. All right. Oh, almost forgot about A2. So A2 has the Dark Visions Katana, some high attack gear, Magister's Ring for the Chain Cat boost. Moonshade Earring is there for the status resistance, so she is immune to all status ailments. And then just killers in her form. So as you can see, I do have her EX3 and level 130. So I did a few pulls on the A2 banner because I only needed one more to get her to EX3. She's been sitting in the Shard Dungeon for a while. But I decided, you know, good opportunity to go pull for one. So I did and managed to get another A2, which is good, so I could use, so now I have another one of her TMRs, because I had only pulled one originally when I went for 2B back in November, so now I have another TMR that I can slap on her. Got her to EX3, she is good to go. A2 is going to do, you know, she's going to do significant damage here, but she's still playing second fiddle to 2B. 2B just carries this fight away from A2, but being EX3 means her rotation is a little bit easier for me to get maximized damage out of her. All right, so this will be a 5-turn clear. Just doing, like I said, this is just for a damage test, just to see how much I can squeeze out of this team. All right, so let's get in here and see how we do. Okay. All right, so we've got all the auto casting going on. Okay, so first thing, we're going to imbue everybody, and that should also do a nice morale bump. So imbuing the party with elements does a nice morale boost for the party. So if you can have Fina do that like every turn, that's pretty good morale generation for you right there. And then we'll just have her hit the boss with Resolute Arrow. All right, Rain is just going to triple Pulverizing Force. That's pretty much all he's doing the whole time. We'll do Crashing Waves, Destabilizing Deep Submersion. Yeah, A2 is going to do Inorganic Blade. We'll do Double Offensive. All right, and then we'll do 2B will do Avoid for the Mirage stacks, double True Charge. Actually, no, you know what? A2 is actually going to do double or triple Offensive Heal. So we're already imbued with Light. So she'll do her other imbue next turn. And then Elena will do her cover. We'll do the typed mitigations. That'll keep us well covered until she can do her LB. And then we will do, what's the other one we're going to do? True Freezing Innervation. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to do. All right, we'll just do some chaining. This isn't going to do very much damage to the boss. Yeah, as you can see, didn't really do very much. That's fine. We haven't even imperiled the boss yet. All right. So now, all right, Elena's going to do Shelga. We'll do Shining Provocation, and with this power, I will protect you. Okay. We're going to summon Bahamut here, so we get the field. Rain is just going to rinse and repeat. We'll do our Inorganic Blade on this turn, double offensive. 2B will do True Charge Volt, double True Charge Blade. Kaito will do Torrential Downpour, Destabilizing Deep Submersion. That's just for morale fill. Okay. And that should do it. Yeah, again, the boss has the Undispellable Defense and Spirit buff up right now, so, you know, this is not going to deal significant damage at all. And honestly, we don't really care about that in this particular clear. Alright, so as you can see, Elena is tanking it just fine. No issues there. Alright, Fina is going to... she'll do Curaga. We'll do a Barrier and Brilliant Veil again for more morale fill. Alright, Flaring Ether Rain. He will do Grace of Will. Double Pulverizing Force just to hit the boss. So at this point, the boss has no Defense and Spirit mod, so we do actually have to be careful because I don't want to push any thresholds and change the boss's AI just for this clear. I don't want to do that yet. Okay. And then, yeah, here we'll just do another Torrential Downpour, Natural Flux, Deadly Stream. 2B will do her Brave Shifted LB. A2 will do her SLB. Elena will do her LB. We're not chaining anything, though. Okay. Because I don't want to deal too much damage to the boss. Okay, so this is... it looks like we've already hit 200% morale, so I'm not too worried about generating morale at this point. Okay, this does the mod boost to Elena's Brave Shifted LB for us. Alright. And here's A2's SLB with the funky delay. Okay, 2B can go. Alright, now Flaring Ether Rain can go. So now we've hit full morale. Alright, so Fina is going to do her SLB. If your Fina is only like EX1, you can just save her SLB and do it next turn. Alright, and that's perfectly fine. Alright, Rain will do his Scarlet Eruption. Okay, Kaito can just do... he can do whatever. We'll just do Torrential Downpour, Natural Flux, Deadly Stream again. And then Elena's going to shift. Alright, she'll do Grace of Procyon, Blessing of Sirius. And... I guess we'll just do Pollux' Blade. A2, all A2 will do here is Yorha, double offensive. 2B will just do Supreme Support, double True Charge, and that should be that. Okay. Alright. And again, we're not chaining anything because I don't want to push the 70% threshold. All right, good thing she's got guts. All right, so now we are just going to do LBs. Triple pulverizing. 2B is going to shift. Do our normal LB. We'll do Hateful Blade. And Fina can just chain. So Fina can just chain with Rain and Elena, and then Kaito, 2B, and A2, they all chain together as well. So I'm going to send Kaito, 2B, and A2 first, and then Fina, Rain, and Elena, because Rain and Elena both have the 8 times chain cap, so you want to make sure you're, close to, if not already, at the chain cap by the time they start doing their damage, because A2 and 2B, theirs are backloaded. So, theirs kind of ramp up naturally anyways. Plus, they only have a 6 times chain cap, okay? So I'm going to do Kaito, 2B, and A2 first. Wait a second, and then do Fina, Rain, and Elena. Okay. So, yeah, hopefully I did a good amount of damage. Yeah, 3.5, that's pretty typical. So, that to me says that this team is capable of dishing out some good damage and should be fine going forward with the clear. And that does give us a perfect score at that particular percent threshold there. So, if this is helpful to you guys, hopefully it is. If it's helpful to you at all, just thought I would share it with you guys as I'm sort of working my way towards a rank 1 clear. There's the damage spread there. So 2B obviously doing the majority of the heavy lifting on this fight. But Rain and A2 obviously, they're bringing up the rear as well. Okay, so I think probably in the final damage breakdown, it might actually be Rain leading the way, because he's going to be doing just constant damage every single turn. But I think 2B is probably going to be is still going to win the fight in the end. We'll see. All right, but yeah, that's the team I'm working with. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys, and stay tuned, because I will be working on taking this team all the way to rank 1. Look forward to that. It might not happen today. It just depends on how much time I get to actually work on it today, but hopefully by tomorrow I will be able to share a rank 1 clear with you guys. So thank you so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.